Hello, I'm David Oscar and welcome to Sign 7 News, bringing you the latest stories from the last week in the sign and wide format print industries. This week, Aston Martin unveils giant toy replica, Sydney Trains completes largest ever out-of-home contract, Drytac emphasises longevity of floor signage, and return to work brings back advertising potential. First, Aston Martin and Corgi have teamed up to develop a giant replica of the 1965 Corgi DB5 toy and box. The box has been created as a tie-in with the new James Bond film No Time to Die and can be found outside Battersea Power Station in London. The replica was constructed by GLS Design, which has previously worked with Aston Martin on many of its live events and exhibitions. Next, global out-of-home advertising company JC Deco has signed one of Australia's largest ever out-of-home contracts. The deal means the French-born company has become the main advertising partner for Sydney Trains, which operates 170 stations over 8 lines across Sydney in New South Wales. The contract will see the introduction of a range of new 75-inch screens and high-impact wall displays. Now, last week we spoke to Global Product Manager for Drytac, Sean Holdham, about the importance of laminates and adhesives during the pandemic. This week he tells us about the future of floor signage and the important aspects for companies to consider when looking at laminates and adhesives for their businesses.
Generally, lamination is used to protect the print. So if you print on a product, generally by applying a laminate over the top of that print, will firstly give it more durability, so it will stop it from weathering and aging. Secondly, it also gives you an opportunity to change the dimension. It could be glossy, it could be matte. But also then you can add properties in there to protect it from like anti-graffiti or scratch. So all of these elements add another layer of dimension to that print that can give you a whole host of opportunities to upsell that printed product. A long-term indoor use can be different to a long-term outdoor use. So again, it's understanding where the final graphic or the final product's going to be, because that has an influence of sunlight, durability, rain. We're in the British weather. We don't get a lot of sun. We get a lot of water. And then on the other side of it, indoors, is that going to be scuffed against? Is that going to be walked over? So again, it's understanding the application at source and making sure you choose the right products for that location. And again, if you're using an outdoor product, you need to make sure you consider whether you need additives within the film or within the adhesive to make sure you prolong that print. Sometimes if you go for the cheapest substrate and you put it in the wrong place, you're only going to get a failure, and it's about understanding those points in the beginning. We're lucky that we work globally, and we have seen the same spikes for the pandemic in all of our international business. America and Canada have the same spike in floor graphics, so have our European customers had the same spike in floor graphics. And generally the messaging is changing, it's changing on a global basis where all business is opening. So that is a global change to the market where everybody's welcoming back people. It's come back in different places at different times. Some places in Europe still haven't gone away. The requirements for graphics and the slip resistance is different by country. Some countries are not quite as, should we say, health and safety conscious as maybe we are in Europe or we are in the United States. So those products that are supposed to be in slip resistant could have just been any laminate or any print material. So that is some of the differences within those locations around the world. But a general explosion in the requirement for, I'll say, COVID messaging and social distancing has been pretty similar. Directional signage is going to be here for a long while, and then integrating that directional signage to make it useful and intentional, with putting QR codes on it, so you actually can pick it up and actually get maybe a coupon or something else. So what you actually change it from a message to being a functional graphic that actually can drive customers to buy your product. That's what we'll see next, and that makes those graphics deliver extra revenue. And I think with what we've seen now, it'll be that messaging will still be there. It'll be maybe partly health and safety, but the major messaging will be marketing, and the marketeers are very, very clever in the fact they will integrate technology in it to make their customers have a better experience in their location.
And finally, September has marked the return for offices and commuting into cities for many throughout the UK. Due to this change, British out-of-home companies Kinetic and Talon have commented on the surge in out-of-home and digital out-of-home advertising. According to their research, workers much prefer in-person meetings and hybrid working, which provides ample opportunities for advertisers. That's all for this week's Sign 7 News, but for now you can stay up to date with all the news in the industry at signlink.co.uk, view much more video content over on our Sign 7 News YouTube channel, or join in with the conversation on Twitter and LinkedIn. We'll see you next week.